We're back with another episode of Curve Talk where we get into the story behind the talent. We got Kairo Keyz in the studio with us today, up in the Midlands. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, broski. What's going on?
I'm good. So, I want to start right at the roots. Like, what from your upbringing, from your background, kind of made you into who you are today?
Literally just that, bro. Like, man's environment, man's friends, family. You know what I'm
Where'd you
saying?
grow up?
Grew up in South still. First I started off in like 10 sides. So like one's with Putney, but that was when I was a young G. So up until like 9, then I moved to Croydon. So from there I've been in like the Croydon bar my whole life, innit? Literally.
So, how much of that kind of representing South? How much of that comes into your music and how you carry yourself today?
Probably a lot, probably more than I know, innit, car. It's only when man go different areas. When I got to a certain age, man, go in different areas, man, see the difference. You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, I wouldn't really know too much, car. Man's from there, innit?
Yeah, you kind of have to be outside of it to notice. Yeah, doing the research I saw, you kind of spoke about how your parents, their influence on you with what they're involved in the music industry, in music and everything. So how was that influencing you when you were younger, kind of growing up and observing that?
It never did, you know, because music wasn't, when I was a youth, like, music wasn't something I wanted to do, so my mum was always doing music. Like, she used to jump on the X Factor thing, you know what I'm trying to say? Always trying to do these things. I never really took it in. My dad was a rapper, you know what I'm saying? He was quite big back in, he's from Canada. Obviously I wasn't around my dad, innit, when I was younger. But yeah, never had no influence. It was more my brethren still. When I got to a certain age, I had friends that were rapping. And I was always in the studio. So yeah, from there I just thought, yeah, why don't I try a thing?
You think just being around that environment and seeing kind of the process of it, because a lot of people that get into music, like, they just like listening to it and then they think, I'll do it. But because you have that background, you kind of know the behind the scenes of everything that goes into it. Do you think that kind of rubbed off on you a bit, or you kind of just tuned it out?
Nah, man. It's just, man just started doing it, bro. Just because of what was going on around, man. Other people were able to do it, you know what I'm trying to say? And when man started music, that was the times when flipping, like, YouTube was going off. Like, not just over here. He had Chief Keef blowing up, you know what I'm trying to say? So a certain man was showing that it was possible to just shoot a video outside, you know what I'm trying to say? Before that, it was way different. You had to be signed and all of these things. So yeah, but I just thought, why not? And then when I started dropping, people were rocking with it. So yeah.
Yeah, along that path, were there any kind of local influences that people watching this might not even know about, that are kind of more underground, that you kind of saw kind of in the space at first, or is it all just like national people and people in America and everything?
Nah. I wouldn't say influence, but obviously there's people that man listen to, like from man's area or outside of man's area. But yeah, loads of people from the UK still, 100%.
And then outside of rap, is there any people that you listen to that kind of influence your sound a little bit, that people might not expect, that it's kind of outside of rap music?
Outside of rap, no, not really outside of rap that would influence, man. Obviously, you got like the dancehall culture and that. That's about it, man. Other than that, it would just be rap still.
Yeah. And so how do you think like your sound, the way that you approach music, has evolved over time, like in terms of finding your sound, where like you might just have just started and maybe you're doing stuff similar to people that you see around you, but how have you kind of come into your own with the way you make music now?
To me, bro, I think it's always evolving, bro. I don't think it ever stops, because there'll be people watching this that know I used to do, not used to, 'cause I still do it, but I haven't put it out. But I was more of an auto-tune artist before, innit? And then, like, the last 2 years, I've been doing more rapping. And there's even music I've been making lately that's a bit different. I'm always evolving, bro, you know what I'm trying to say? So I don't feel like, I don't think it's something that will ever stop. Man's just a, what's it called, versatile type artist.
Yeah, and then at what point did you, maybe it was early, maybe you're still getting there, but at what point did you feel like so there's just making music itself, but then the business side of it, at what point did it kind of click where this is like a business?
Literally now, bro. It's mad literally now, car. I didn't know. I've never been signed. I've never had nothing in it. No team like that. Nothing. So man never really knew. You know the business is there, but man didn't know what to do or how to. You know what I'm trying to say? I was just making music. I would literally just put out music. So when man will be going to label meetings and that, they'll be shocked that I've just slapped something out. I haven't had no distribution behind it, no playlisting, nothing. And they'll have artists under their label that's getting the same numbers as man, but they've put bare into them, bare money, you know what I'm trying to say? So after I clocked that, I was like, I could have been getting more out of this if I had the business mindset and knew how to articulate what man was doing properly, innit? And then, the last year I've just been researching all of that, bro, up to this day. What I need to do, how to like brand myself, just so much to do with the music thing. There's bare business that you can do with it, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Like there's bare man with bare followers that ain't getting no money because they're just relying on streams. You know what I'm trying to say?
Do you think there's a like advantage to kind of starting off on that side and being able to have the freedom to kind of take it wherever you want to? Because you hear about different artists that maybe really early on already got established with labels and stuff, and they've been put on a shelf where they haven't been able to show what they can do as early. Or
bro, if you was asking man that question a couple of years ago, before TikTok and that, I'd say yeah. But now, nah, car. You can't get shelf, bro, because if you're at a label, if man's at a label, cool, man's career's gone a bit downhill. There's a new man at the label, he's doing his thing. Bro, if they shelf man and they're not allowing man to release, but man has the power of TikTok, so man can just keep making music. And if man puts something on TikTok and it does well, or wherever, bro, you like man don't have to officially release it. Man could just put it out on the internet. If it gains traction, cause it's a good song, the labels are phoning my phone in the morning. Man's off the shelf. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So only you can stay on the shelf now. We've got too much access to too much things, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? So for me, I don't know about next man. I wouldn't get shelved, innit? I wouldn't stay on the shelf for long.
Yeah, not even just shelving. Obviously, that's like the extreme, but even just kind of the way that you want to take things, where like, okay, maybe I feel ready for a mixtape, maybe I feel ready for an album.
Yeah.
Being able to go at your own pace when you start off versus them having like a strict guideline for you.
They could probably have a lot of say in that, innit, and mash up your thing. Hence why man's not really on with that. If I was really to take a deal or something like that, I would try my best not to do it in that way, where man's just getting a whole heap of money, but then they got a whole heap of control. I'd rather get less money and I got more control. Just depends on man's situation at the time, innit? Obviously, it just depends, bro. If you've got loads of numbers, they're going to let you have loads of control, you know what I'm trying to say? If you've got a minimum amount of numbers, then you have to find the right deal. But my advice would be try make them have less control, because that's the worst thing you want. When you're trying to be creative, you don't want someone telling you what and when you can do something, you know what I'm trying to say?
So if for an artist starting in 2023, you kind of say that you've got to look at it as what you're bringing to them and like have that leverage.
Yeah, man. You got to look at yourself, bro. Every artist is different, you know what I'm trying to say? There's some man that don't know how to do a lot of things, so it's best if they're signed, or it's best if they're more controlled, because they're not good at things. They're only good at making music. And then there's some man that's more business minded and know what they're doing. Do you get it? So everybody's different, man. You got to know what path to take for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what about like your approach to making music? So when you start, whether it's just a single song or a whole project, what's kind of your process, your production style, like how you come into it, where you're like, okay, this is my starting point? Or do you have that? Does it change?
What, when you say making music, you're talking about when I'm in the studio?
Yeah, when you're in the studio.
It will usually be, obviously I work with a producer. Majority of the time make the beat from scratch. And then, yeah, man, just jump in the booth, lay bar after bar. Don't really rap too tough like that, just, you know what I'm saying, lay each bar, and then, yeah, man, nothing too special, literally.
Yeah, and then kind of going back to how you said establishing yourself on, social media, TikTok, whatever it is, how is that factored into the way that you approach it? Because when you're first starting, you're kind of making music for yourself, but then now, do you take in that feedback from other people or like fans, I guess, online and everything, or you shut that down? Like, what's your balance towards that?
What, like social media?
Yeah.
Well, like taking in what people saying and
Yeah, like feedback from music, everything.
I don't know, you know. I just watch the views, innit? Numbers don't lie, really. Not comments. You can lie in a comment, you can't lie in the numbers. So it's like, if man's waking up, one of the TikToks or songs got over 100k or 200k, something's good about it. You know what I'm trying to say? It's attracting attention. So I'll just go off the numbers. I'm not really gonna go off of what people saying all the time. Sometimes you can, but I'd rather go off of what people want to hear and that.
Yeah, is it not difficult to, because obviously as you grow and as you get bigger, everyone's got an opinion, and now that, especially now, like in the 2020s and everything, with social media being as big as it is, everyone feels connected, like they feel like they know the artist just because they see more of them. So how hard is it to shut out? Because it's a lot of coming from different directions. Sometimes it's hate, sometimes it's genuine fans. So how do you balance what to ignore and what to take in?
Yeah, obviously sometimes you want to smack them up, but you know what I'm saying? It's the internet, bro. It's not real. You know what I'm trying to say? Literally, like you can't take that on board, bro. But I get it still, because it's happened to man before. Like man will be getting a whole heap of love, and then there'll be one negative comment, and it's like man didn't even fucking. I'm allowed to swear. So, you get me? Man didn't even let that like I didn't take in the good comments, all those hundreds of good comments, as much as I took in the negative thing. You know what I'm saying? The negative things ruin hours of man's day. You know what I'm trying to say? Having man overthink and that. So it's like, you got to start learning to don't be that dumb to take that in when you just got 100 good comments, you know what I'm trying to say? Literally. Obviously, if you're getting 100 negative comments a day, you still might be doing something right, but you might want to think about what you're saying or what you're doing, you get it? But yeah, man, I wouldn't let negative shit get to man.
Yeah, and then just within music, within like fans just connecting with your music, obviously a lot of the time it's because they relate, and with that you got to be vulnerable. So how do you balance between being vulnerable in your music, kind of letting them know what's up, what's in your life, versus like setting boundaries? Because especially now with social media, everyone feels like, because they see you so much, they feel like, oh, I know this guy. Like there's a lot of people that think they might bump your thing all day, every day. So they're thinking, okay, I know this guy to a certain extent, but you want to keep stuff to yourself. So how do you balance between being vulnerable and setting boundaries?
If it's the music, then for me, there's no boundaries to set, bro. It's music. You're going to feel the music. I ain't going to be online chatting about everything. Like, I try my best, and I'm not really the best at being on my social media like that. But in the music, I'll say everything. You know what I'm trying to say? Because same artists I listen to and get inspired from, whether they're American, UK, they're telling me a lot of things that man's gone through or might end up going through, you know what I'm trying to say? So I would say everything in the music. Online, try to keep it, I don't know, man. Try to keep it a bit limited, but yeah. I think the best outcome would be being yourself, innit? Let people know what it is to be you. You never know who's relating to you, you know what I'm trying to say? So you have to be yourself, man.
Yeah, and then as you spoke about, you know, your dad being based in Canada and everything, you've got quite like global influence and people hearing you from a lot of different types of places. So how do you take that in? Firstly, at what point did you realize like, okay, it's just more than just, you know, people in London listening to me? It's like
working with different artists, different like international artists, and going to the places. Like I've done a show in Sweden with my brethren Adam from over there. Canada, I've done a show in Canada, in Toronto, in November. Like you see people at the front of the crowd saying you know what I'm trying to say? Man, little things like that, just getting noticed. Obviously, like just little things, the DMs, the Spotify showing you where people are listening, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, just all those things.
And then now that you're having this success, you've established yourself like as an artist and everything, what motivates you from this point forward in terms of not getting too comfortable with where you're at, thinking, okay, this is what I want out of my career, like moving forward?
Number one, man can never get comfortable where I'm at, because I don't think, like obviously I know I've made a name for myself, like I'm not a nobody, but Do you know what I'm saying? Like, man's not gone, bro. Do you get it? So man can never get comfortable. That would be dumb. But other than that, motivates man to keep going. It's because of that, innit? I ain't really, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not doing the things that man want to do. I ain't selling out arenas. I ain't, you know what I'm trying to say? There's loads of things I ain't done, bro. So I've got a long way to go. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let's like show love to some artists. So firstly, just just in London, and then overall, like, who would you say is the hardest in the game right now?
In London.
Outside of yourself, obviously.
It's not too much, man. I'm listening to like that. Obviously, and we listen to the Rimsies. Bro, there's so many. You know, there is a lot of man listen to in London, but it's like I don't stick with one artist. Man, probably just listen to loads of songs. So it's like off the top of my head, I can't really think of it. The only reason I'm saying Rimsy, I know I listened to his project. I took that in. Do you get? It's not too many, man, bro. Obviously, I rate the man that are doing the thing, that the man that where it's blatant, like the Daves, and you know what I'm trying to say. But other than that, I don't know, man. I'd have to really think about that one, or check man's Spotify playlist or something. You get?
Yeah, who's an artist that's underrated that many people might not know, but you think, okay, this guy's cold?
Wish you told me you was gonna ask me this before, you know. Because there's probably someone there that I wanna make it known. You get? Jarring, fam. You might have to do some edit, bro. Where man just
that's cool,
get
man.
me, because I can't snake whoever I'm thinking of, because I know there's someone
cool.
there, bro, that I have to show love
cool.
to. Yeah.
And then who's someone that you haven't collabed with already that you'd want to collab with?
Collab with. I don't know, you know, man. Just they're gonna happen, innit? So just look out for them. Whoever I want to collab with, it's gonna happen real soon. So
yeah,
it's probably just gonna be a spoiler. I'd rather not even say.
So what was the transition like for you from before you were making music to now? Like the different things that you got to deal with. Like, what's the biggest difference?
Obviously, your face being bait. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how bait people think I am, but bro, I think from walking around on the roads, bro, man, bait, bro. Like, I didn't know it was gonna get like this. You know what I'm trying to say? So for me, just that really, man. Everywhere man goes, in London anyway, man gets noticed. So just gotta be careful how I step, who I step with. Like, there's bare little things that I can't do no more. Like before, you know, you get sent to the shop by your nan, or you know what I'm trying to say, by his mum or whatever. Like, I just grab something quickly. Now, when my nan and that's trying to send me certain places, it's different, bro. Like, it's hard to explain to her. Like, I can't just go to the Sainsbury's in my area, car. You know what I mean? You don't know who you're gonna see. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, man. Little things like that. You would never think that would be something that you'd have to change, but it ends up being just small things that you can't do no more as much. You know what I'm saying?
And then, would you trade, like, how much of that is like the day to day, like it gets on your nerves and you're like, alright.
Nah, never let it get on my nerves, bro. Just adapt, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Won't let it get on my nerves, because man asks for this.
Yeah, you wouldn't trade that.
Nah, never that, bro. Never trade it. Just adapt, man. You can't expect to do, like, want to do something. Yeah, want to be an artist, actor, or whatever, and not expect to have to adapt to what comes with that. You know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, you can miss it. Like, there's times I miss certain things, but I would never trade it. You know what I mean?
So what would you say to an artist that's starting right now, that's thinking, that's kind of going in it a bit naive, like, okay, I'm just making music and that's all it is. Outside of the booth, the things that they got to now deal with once they blow up.
Yeah, they just got to deal with that, like getting noticed, people having opinions on them, not being able to really have an opinion. Well, you can, if you want to be a madman and just one of those artists that just say whatever. You can say whatever if you want, innit? But it's difficult, like how I'd post on social media before. Like, I could still do that, but it's not the same, bro. I can't just, like, I have brethrens, bro, that I'll see just post up anything about anything, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? It could be something that's on the news. It could be something to do with You know the type of things I'm thinking of. You know what I'm trying to say? They can just have an opinion on that, bro. Man can't. You know what I'm trying to say? I could have an opinion on it, and it just gets exploited in a different light, and then now, before you know it, you either cancelled or you apologise, and then, you know what I'm trying to say? So things like that, you just got to know that you're going to lose certain things like opinions and your privacy and, yeah, man. Just got to be ready for those type of things still.
Yeah, and as you said, everyone's got an opinion. In the public eye, obviously everyone has, whether you say something or you don't say something, people are out there talking about your opinion. And if you're quiet, sometimes people still will guess and like think, oh, what's he thinking? So what's your approach to rumours and like narratives out there about yourself?
Nothing really, man. I'm human, so of course there is times man could look at something that, because half of the time, remember, these men don't know, man. And if there's a situation out there between me and somebody else, or me and a group of people, or just a situation just to do with me, no one on the internet knows. So it's like 90% of the time when I'm looking at it, it's not true. Do you get it? It's not, they don't know nothing about it. So it's like, there is times I could look at it and be like, what the, you get me? Like, get a bit vexed, but half of the time, man, just laugh, bro. I kind of like it, like, just leave it out there, because like, you lot will never know until I say, you know what I'm trying to say, or unless you actually find out what's happened or what's going on. So when I see all these different opinions about, it could have been this, it could be that, or he's dealing with that or whatever, I just laugh. You lot don't know nothing, you know what I'm saying?
What about when, because obviously opinions are opinions, but when something like catches traction and it's like put out there as facts, and then certain people that may not know you but might also be kind of public start to, they might not even directly say this happened, but they might, you know, hint at it in songs or whatever, and then as it develops, like how do you stay true to that kind of mindset of saying, okay, I'll ignore it, versus, because it's got to, like, just as a human, things out there about you, it's got to get to you a little bit.
Me personally, I've had nothing put out there that's a fact that I didn't put out there. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't have people in my circle that leak information. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't have people around, man, that's gonna say things. So that's the only way, like, a factual thing about, man, or a situation I've been in could come out. But other than that, nothing out there about, man, is a fact unless I put it out there. Do you get it? It's the only things that's gonna be a fact, bro. There's nothing I've just looked on my phone and been like, oh, how did they know that? Or, I need to pattern this. Like, so all of it I can just laugh about, because none of it's, you know what I'm saying? None of it's 100% fact.
Yeah, and then within like the industry itself, firstly, what's the biggest thing that's like shocked you about the way business is done and the way the industry moves?
I don't know, you know, because it's like, no, nothing. I think, alright, cool. The only thing that shocked me, actually, to be honest, is how much money you can make, bro. When I actually realised how much money you can make as a business mindset, not just obviously music. Because that's when people look at artists, that's all they ever talk about, like these stupid people on the internet, bro. They just say, oh, artists only get paid from streams. But if you're actually a business mindset and you got that sort of way about you, there's so many things you could do. What I've learned now, innit? There's people that man watch all the time, like, you got an artist in America called Larry June.
Yeah.
He may not be the biggest artist, but he's got more money than nearly all of these artists that you know what I'm trying to say, that are popping, because of all the business that he does. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's probably like the only thing that really shocked, man. Bro, all I care about is money, bro. You know what I'm saying? So those are the only things where I was like, raw, man can actually, you know what I'm saying? From what I'm doing, I can build so many things through what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, from the outside looking in, and most fans, the only time we ever really hear about the business of music is when we're hearing about artists saying they got finessed in deals and like how things work. So what's your kind of experience with that, with deals, and then what kind of advice would you give? Is it blown out proportion, or
no? Yeah, probably. No, I don't think it's blown out proportion. Defo, man, get finessed with deals. I ain't had no deals. I've been probably done a little 1-2 things for maybe a song or something like that. There's certain situations where, like I said, I haven't done it a lot, maybe once or twice. And I could have done something, and it's like, deep down I know, maybe if I had a certain team or just if I knew more, I could have got more. It's not about that though, man. It's about just doing the right thing with what you get, you know what I'm saying? Not just that, I need to get 100K from this and that. Like, just do the right thing with what you get, man, because it's about, you need to keep on going, innit? People that just moan about a one deal and that, and they're still moaning about it, it's because they're not even elevating, bro. They're not even trying to keep the thing moving. Like, if man does something last week and it wasn't the right amount, that's in the past now. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't really dwell on stuff like that, man. Everything happens for a reason, literally.
Yeah, and then whether it's something that you've done in that realm or something that you haven't done or that you expected, like, do you have any regrets or?
No. I never have regrets. Obviously, naturally, as a human, man has those thoughts that, I could have done that like that. But I flip that into, I could have done like that. So make sure the next time that happens, I make sure I do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Not sit there and moan about it when I can't go back in time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you decided today, like, you hadn't made any music before and you were like, all right, today I'm starting making music, what would you do today in 2023? Like, how would you go about starting out your career?
Me personally, I would, no disrespect to none of like any platforms, because I feel like those have helped everybody a lot, helped me definitely. But where music's heading now, and with all the social media apps and everything you can just do by yourself, just do everything from your own platform now, man. You know what I'm saying? That would be my advice. I would never have no one around me making music that's starting and told them to jump on any of these platforms, bro. It's old news, man. Build your own fan base. It's gonna be more worthwhile in the long run. You know what I'm trying to say? Because there's men out here building their platform on other platforms, and then when their thing dies, it's dead. You know what I'm trying to say? When you build your own platform, it can't really die, bro. Your fans are just there. You get the fans that were just cutting in and out might cut, but the ones that are subscribed and follow you, and they're there forever. You know what I'm saying? So my advice would just be, just build everything with your own thing. Build your own clothing, build your own YouTube, your own TikTok, own everything.
So as an artist, take us like behind the scenes of what like the day to day is, whether it's like at a show day, things that we won't see because we'll just be in the crowd and watching. But what is it like going through the process of booking out a show? You said that you've dealt with issues behind the scenes of shows being cancelled and stuff. So what do you kind of have to deal with on your side?
Yeah, man's still learning, innit? I tried to have my own show the other day, which I patterned from February. And then, yeah, literally the day before, they've told me certain things, innit? You know how it gets, bro. Like I said, the system and that, you know what I'm saying? They've told man that the day before. And then, yeah, you literally just lose everything, bro. You lose tickets, you lose whatever you put into it. Outside of paying for the venue, you lose, innit? You'll get back the money for paying for the venue, but you lose everything. Even forgetting about money, you lose that moment that you could have spent with your fans. Yeah, so those are the type of things you deal with, bro. When it happened to me, it was only the other day, obviously, man was in a way, you get me, but it happens to everybody, bro. Literally, it happens to nearly everybody, so it's just part of the process. There's something man's got to learn from, something man's got to make sure I deal with in a different way next time, innit? But, yeah, man, those are the things people won't really see how much you put into this. They're only going to think the show cancelled or that they can't come, man. You know what I'm saying? That's about, but there's loads more. Like I said, so much money you put into it. You will literally be seeing the ticket sales there and the money goes into thin air. You know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, man, stressful still. Word.
Yeah, and then for like your fans that may not understand, or even people that, like, a lot of people want to get into music but they don't understand that side of things. What's something about the music industry that someone might not get, might think, oh yeah, he just doesn't want to make music right now, or he's taking a break, blah blah blah. That from your side, you tell them just so they get a real understanding for how this works.
Everybody's different. I can only answer for me, innit? I don't know why certain men don't do music. Certain men will made a name for themselves and they don't drop because they're doing mad shit out here, you know what I'm saying, or they're focusing on other things. Or for me, man just had like obviously I'm switching it up now, but I just had this problem of like perfecting everything. You know what I'm saying? Anything you saw that I've done, none of it was really by. Like, obviously, it's natural that I'm being myself, but none of it was just natural. Like a lot of it was like planned out, like how I'm gonna shoot this video, what I'm gonna wear in this video, make sure it's the best song that I have on my laptop, on my phone now. That's the one that's coming out. Like, I didn't just do anything. You know what I'm trying to say? So being like trying to do the perfection thing sometimes backfire because nothing's perfect, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? So man should just kind of just give the fans music, bro. Every time I was making music, just give them music, give them content. Not just trying to make everything on point because nothing's ever gonna be perfect. So for me, that was my problem, innit? Just trying to have everything too much perfectionist I was trying to do. So from now on, just gonna just give the fans what they need, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Give them content, give them music, give them tapes. And just build more of a catalogue.
Yeah. With music that you've made already, what's the process behind collaborating with other artists? Like, what collabs have you had in the past where it's been like really positive, or what's your process towards collabs?
Collabs. I ain't done a lot, but obviously I don't know how it is in America, innit? Because I might not live there. But in the UK, I for sure know that loads of people ain't shouting you for collabs, that especially the scene that man's coming from. People ain't really. It's not something that really happens. That unless you have like a mutual friend, like no one's really just coming out their way to shout you for like a collab or whatever. So there's not much of that. But I don't think there's anyone that I've really gone out of my way too tough to shout for a collab. Trying to think if there's how it went for other people shouting me. If they did shout me and I did it, I'll just pull up to the studio, pattern the producer, make the tune. You get me? Like, that'll be it, bro. Like, nothing too much to it. It's rare. It's even rare to even be one of them ones where we're like proper cool after. There's only like one or two artists that I've worked with where it's like, this is broski now. You know what I'm trying to say? But other than that, you just go there. It's business, innit? Man, just work and then leave. And if it doesn't work like that, then a producer might put us together. Like me and Squeech dropped a tune. That was through Michelin. You know what I'm saying? Which I think producers should do more of. That's a good way, because artists don't really do that, like I said, bro. They don't really try to shout each other. So I feel like if producers have a link between two artists that are good and could work good together, they should start doing that more. Because, you know what I'm saying, without Michelin, I probably wouldn't have worked with Squeeks. Man, listened to Squeeks from when I was a youth, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to have someone in the middle sometimes to pattern it.
Yeah, you said that's quite, like, I think especially here in the UK. Is there anything else about the UK scene that you'd like to kind of change? Where
I feel like we need to be a bit more, how can I say it? Just a bit more like a bit more carefree about what everyone's doing and carefree about what we're doing ourselves. But I feel like because there's so much opinions and stuff on so much things in the UK, it's just going to make too much people do the same thing or act the same, you know what I'm trying to say? So when someone acts different in the UK, it's a big thing, you know what I'm trying to say? And everyone's got an opinion. I feel like in America, there's so much different type of people, bro. There's always someone, it doesn't even matter if they're doing crazy stuff or bad stuff or good stuff, but there's always just a difference. Like in the UK, I just feel like it's too much that, I wouldn't say it's negative, but people just have too much opinions, man. Should let people just do what they're doing. You get me? If you don't like it, follow what you like. You get me? Literally, because there's always going to be people that like something else. So yeah.
And then, see, we're getting more and more artists from here get more, obviously global, but especially in America, get more recognition. Is that something that you ever aspire to, or is that kind of just, you're kind of cool with whoever messes with your music?
Yeah, I aspire to just getting recognition. I don't aspire to like getting recognition in Pacific Place. I always be more gassed about getting recognition where I'm from, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Literally, I want to be able to be like big from like where I'm from. rather than focusing on other places. That's just a bonus.
Do you ever think about just UK music as a whole, like how it's rising as well, or do you kind of just you're more so kind of focused on your own career?
Yeah, it's focused on my own thing. Literally.
So who do you listen to outside of rap music?
Outside of rap music,
Yeah.
outside of rap music, so many people, bro. Again, that's another one where I'd have to probably just scope through my Spotify. But I listen to everything, bro. Like, if it's R&B, I listen to it. There's a girl that does R&B in America called Anne Marie. I listen to her music a lot. Dancehall music. Who else do I listen to, man? Obviously, I listen to a lot of rap. That's why it's hard to think of it now. But I do take in every type of genre. Yeah, man, I listen to it all, bro. Probably the only thing I don't listen to is rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen to rock or nothing like that. But everything else, I've tapped in. You get me?
And then when you listen to those different areas, is there anything that you, maybe it's not even the sound itself, but just listen to different things? Is there anything that you take in where you're like, okay, I could use this for...
Yeah,
for
sometimes samples. Samples. Sometimes just getting inspired to work with someone like that. You know what I'm trying to say? I'll be thinking about future things that when I'm going to have an album one day, working with people from a different genre of music. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, about it still.
Do you have like any ambitions outside of rap music, or you just kind of focus on your career with that right now? So
yeah, it's all under like the same thing, but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna start my clothing brand. Even like when I'm doing YouTube, when I start my YouTube channel, it's not just gonna be like just music videos. Like, man's gonna start showing more of what's going on behind closed doors. Cause I feel like me and my brethren's like, it's lit, you know what I'm trying to say? The amount of stuff man does, people will never know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely gonna be posting content. I don't know if you lot have seen like how NLE Chopper does his thing, like,
yeah,
he has a YouTube channel and it has vlogs, and you know what I'm trying to say? So I'm definitely gonna start doing things like that. 100%.
or like getting involved with like streamers and stuff like that, or
Yeah, maybe even that. Yeah, man. All those type of things.
what have fans got to look forward to in the future that you can reveal right now?
That I can reveal.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna drop a tape this year. Again. I dropped the EP at the beginning of the year, but I'm gonna drop like a mixtape. I'm gonna start up. I got merch coming. You get it? It's called 00, stands for Only Originals. Literally just started my own YouTube. What else? And then try putting another headline show in it. The fucking system looked it. You know what I'm saying? I meant to have a show on Friday. They took it away from man. You get me? Pissed man off. But try to do that again when the time's right. Yeah, that's about it, I think.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. But yeah, man, that's all we got time for today. But now we really appreciate you coming down.
Love, bro. Love for having me.
Appreciate it, man. But with that, that's a wrap.
Come on, man. Love, yeah.